Well, what's going on, zombies? It's 11:09 in the morning Pacific Standard Time for Friday, the 30th of June, 2023. The Weaver Gen Z, Rosamond, California. Yeah, a bit dark, isn't it? Trying to curtail some of the power as much as I can, and also using what I am going to be using just to get through the heat of the day. Yeah, see the energy bills. Okay, a lot of things happening right now that's a little bit disconcerting. The loan forgiveness bill that President Biden was downing, SCOTUS went. As for there was a case in Colorado that prevented discrimination, but the SCOTUS allowed discrimination of a sort. A The LGBTQ is reeling over this one because it's affecting their businesses, their quality of life, their existence, basically, because of freedom of a choice. Christian, I think it stemmed from either a photographer or a cake builder, a cake designer, and they said no. Christian says no because you're LGBT. You are hurting my religion, and I cannot do anything. So screw it. Somehow, carefully worded argument, SCOTUS sided with the artist, and LGBT got discriminated. So this is going to be having a major reaction. The White House right now is still trying to craft out a letter. The speechwriter is going to have a field day over this one, and as soon as they get their speech together, and then there's going to be a press briefing. Biden's going to be talking to the country about this one. Naturally, the press briefing is going to be a little bit major on this one. How's this for a story? Somewhere in Milwaukee, one particular home had tweeted something innocuous or something they thought it was innocuous, and then got picked up and retweeted again and again and again to where it was pissing off people left and right who decided they wanted to harass this family in the form of swatting. Swatting, the past few decades, have been prank calls if you wanted to piss someone else off or have a nice laugh at a damn thing, as someone else is discovered. You send law enforcement after them in force. Which means if I happen to piss off anybody at this point, or if I got pissed off at somebody and I happen to find out what their contact is, I would call the police or sheriff's department and tell them, look, this person, he's doing something dastardly. They've got something. Oh no, they got something. And leave a threat. They would in turn send cops to investigate. If they found out it was a legitimate call regarding lives threatened in any way, shape, or form, a barricaded suspect, gun use, something of a violent nature, cops would come in force and then storm the house. But without doing an investigation at all, somehow or another, swatting has become more and more prevalent. You can be pissed off at a neighbor and decide that you're going to tell them about a story here. You make a false statement to the cops, and they'll believe it without investigating. They'll send the cops over. The FBI is getting involved in this situation because it's getting way out of hand. They have to track all these damn swattings because this one particular family had 42. 42. Constant messages and their texting that is driving them crazy at this point. All these other people they don't know are haranguing them. Gee, I can't make a joke out of something like this because I could, and it would be in poor taste, and I'm not about to. Now, how would I like it if almost every single day I'm going to be arrested on site because of some mischarge? Someone had did a charge in this one. I can pick up my phone. I can hit 911. I can talk to these guys regarding fire or regarding police. Fire for emergency services, like I did have passed several times on my brother, because we needed the ambulance service. And if I happen to see any fire or kind of major things happening, yeah, I'd call 911 on that one. I hear any crashing or threats or anything else like that, yeah, it's major. And I have to be careful about this one because I understand that if I happen to make a false charge or false statement, it's going to be coming back on me. That's why I have to get my information right. And here's the funny part. This is a closed environment out here in the apartments. They happen to see a cop. They automatically know who it is, or they may not. But I am one of those guys labeled as a snitch. Because there was fireworks happened a few years back, and I snitched on them. I'm a snitch. But I had called the sheriff's department on a couple of items here and there. I've already demonstrated, I already talked about it on videos on those. And already I'm blackballed by neighbors over here, so, I'm under constant scrutiny. At least that's how I feel it at the time. During the time where we got this fireworks season here, I'm more and more in tune about what's going on around my neighborhood, or at least I try to be in the first place. And there are certain areas over here that I would have to cross areas where they're looking at. There he is, there's the snitch. Probably say behind the windows or something like that. But if I can find out who the hell the damn thing is or where it's coming from, then yeah, I snitch because I don't want the fire. We live in a fire-prone area out here, so I'm going to be a snitch on that one. Okay, I'm a snitch. Big deal. What? Oh, no, no, no. We got to pound at the door. We got to pound and break the door in. Well, great. There goes the damn door lock again. What do you want? You know, on an almost day-by-day basis of being harassed on a text, shit, I could block her. I would block everything else on the damn thing. Except for those who I trust would call and say how I'm doing. Everything else, forget it. I block, 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 block. I'm doing that on Facebook and on social media like crazy because I don't want to deal with them, but they're going to do it anyway, so let them. So I block, 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 block. I don't mind. I'm used to it now. What I would not be used to is having constant police come through the door and say, "Raise! Come in! Get your hands up!" My own home, and you're doing this to me without a search warrant or probable cause. But they would have a theoretical probable cause because the people doing the swatting, calling people on me, are getting a lawyer out. They're getting a laugh at this damn thing. They're the ones making the charges. And therefore, I'm the one who has to suffer through the damn shit. But if it's going to be the same constant cops, they ought to know better. And if it's a smaller community at this point over here, not a large city, but a large. But you know what the weirdest damn thing is? What I came across on a story is that, and I was seeing the story on MSNBC this morning. Milwaukee is having a field day over this. It's having a field day over this. They have recorded. They have recorded a lot of calls to the same address. And their only response at this point over here is saying that they have a duty, a responsibility of answering every call that seems to be a threat to life and God knows what else. Generally paraphrasing the damn thing. So imagine if I'm going to get swatted on a constant basis for the next week or two or a month like that. I'm going to have the cops coming in here trying to search out everything. We know you got drugs. We know you got that. We know you got a shotgun. We know you got something else dastardly in here. You made threats over to people. You already threatened them. We got witness statements. Yeah, where? How? When? What do you got in this place? Be my guest. Tear it apart. You're gonna find roaches. I got a selling roaches in case you want them live or dead. I can make a small fortune off of you guys. Of course, if you happen to carry them inside your uniforms or anything else like that coming away, maybe you'll be able to deal with my roach war too. Maybe you can tell the county of Kern that it would have been nice to have a health and welfare check every once in a while just to see if I'm still alive and not stinking up the place. Oh, too late on that one. Take a look. Don't smell the bathroom. Don't smell the other areas of this place. I got Febreze all over the place. I'm disguising farts and dog smells. Be my guest. You won't like what you see in the stove. The refrigerator's hideous. The cabinets are disgusting. Worse. The bathroom. You'll see the stains on the floor. Do your chemical testings, you dubbies. You can see what I am over here. Don't take a look at the canisters in here, though. You might not like what you see. Yeah, I'm taking it as a freaking joke if I'm going to do it myself. If I swat on myself just to get law enforcement over here, you know how crazy that would be? But I haven't. I haven't done it. I can say it as a supposition at this point over here, but if it comes across as an actual threat of my own life, and I'm threatening my own life at this point over here, you know, to be putting me under a 5150 at this point, 72-hour lockup, just to see if I'm sane or not. You know, I think I'll be trading. It's a 3-day holiday in bed, just sleeping my ass off. But you need to talk to a shrink. I'm busy examining my own eyelids. I'm off my own little world without the damn drugs. I'm enjoying peace and quiet when I actually had peace and quiet. But no, I'd give them this. I'd give them the tale of my life. I'd tell them anything and everything about my life, every aspect of the damn thing. That I'm still under psychiatric, therapy sessions all over the time with my health insurance company at this point. I hadn't had my physical corpse examined yet. Are you willing to do that too? Kaiser won't do it. Will you see if I'm physically able for things? A possible blood screening just to see if I got any weird abnormalities in there? I mean, probably would have to do a physical check on the person, you know. Okay, then do a physical on me. I'm old, I'm fat, and ugly. That works. Oh, God. Hang on a second. I gotta listen to something here. CNN. Of course, this Christian web designer can refuse to create websites for same-sex weddings. SCOTUS.
says without this protection, they could be compelled to do those things. Do you think he is correct there?
I want to talk about the real life application of what is happening. LGBTQ plus people across this country are already experiencing record numbers of hate crimes against us, an incredible wave of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation meant to harm us, and discrimination that's legalized in more than half the states. I mean, today, a same-sex couple could be kicked out of a restaurant just for being gay. A same-sex couple could be kicked out of a grocery store for holding hands. A trans person could be kicked out of a barber shop. Discrimination is happening in this country now, and it is a real problem. I don't care what sort of rhetoric you try to wrap it in. At the end of the day, this case is legalizing discrimination that has to be addressed.
Thank you so much for being with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Kelly Robinson, Human Rights Campaign. Boris?
Let's get the other side of this argument now. We're joined by the attorney for the web designer at the center of the case, Kristen Wagner. She's also the president of Alliance Defending Freedom. Kristen, thank you so much for being with us today. You argue that disagreement isn't discrimination, but isn't refusing a service to someone based on who they choose to marry discrimination?
Well, that's not what's happening here, and I think that there is a lot of rhetoric that's going on about this case, and I would encourage all Americans to actually read the decision rather than rely on the rhetoric. We know that this case involves someone who creates speech. It's stipulated by Colorado that she serves everyone, that she has LGBT clients, but that there are some messages that she will not create. And yes, some of those messages have to do with same-sex marriage, but there are lots of other messages that she won't create that have nothing to do with sexuality. And this ruling protects the LGBT website designer just as much as it protects someone like Lori.
So you're arguing essentially that this isn't about gay marriage specifically?
It's not about gay marriage specifically. It's about whether the government can force an American to say something that they don't believe.
So what are the other issues that she refuses to design websites about, or the other messages that she refuses to endorse on her website?
Well, think of all the different websites that a website designer would be asked to create. Websites that might denigrate people. Websites that would express different political views that she disagrees with. Websites that would promote atheism or some other particular viewpoint that contradicts her faith.
So what about the argument that there was no actual harm? The question of standing in this case, because this was a hypothetical that was brought before the Supreme Court. Was she actually harmed? She never actually was asked to make a website for a gay couple, was she?
I'm surprised that you're even asking that in the sense that she was harmed. Colorado has been the most aggressive state.
She hadn't actually started the business.
She had started the business and she wanted to go in to design custom same-sex or custom wedding
What I mean is
websites.
that she wasn't penalized by the state for this. She hadn't actually experienced harm yet.
She had. Her speech was chilled. She couldn't enter into the business because Colorado had consistently, not just against her, but like-minded individuals, said that they would punish, excessively punish, those who would express his view and decline to express a view that supports same-sex marriage. Colorado's notorious. Surely you've heard of Masterpiece Cake Shop.
I actually
You know
worked in
what happened.
Colorado when that was happening and spoke to some of the key players in that decision. You were part of that case as well. So it leads me to wonder, is there a campaign on behalf of folks within your organization to target the rights of LGBTQ people?
There's a campaign on behalf of Alliance Defending Freedom to protect free speech for everyone. The court's decision today said that public accommodation laws will continue to apply, that they've coexisted with the First Amendment for decades, and people won't be denied access to goods and services. And we will protect the rights of free speech, including those who support same-sex marriage.
I'm curious about a perspective that was brought about in the dissent from Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Your client believes that marriage should remain between a man and a woman. There are creators out there who believe that marriage should remain between people of the same race. Would you argue on behalf of folks who do not believe in interracial marriage because it is their point of view of the world?
I would not argue on their behalf, and that's a reprehensible view. I think what's important here to remember, though, is that's not the facts of the case the court decided today. The court said that if it's clear that a speaker is distinguishing on the basis of the message they're being asked to create, that they can't be compelled by the government to express a message, and the government can't ruin them because they dislike the message. There are these laws right now, in some states, they actually impose jail time if you decline to express a message that violates your conscience.
So what would you say to folks who feel marginalized by this decision, who say that the message that is being put forward by folks who oppose the right of same-sex couples to marry is reprehensible?
I would say that they have the right, thanks to this decision, to enter the public square and give voice to that view and to persuade their neighbor, to test ideas, to explore truth, to advance social progress. And all of that is because if we want to have that right for ourselves, we have to protect it for those who disagree with us. That's how we have social progress.
So you mentioned that this is part of a campaign to protect freedom of speech, and obviously you tried a case previously before the Supreme Court in the Masterpiece Bakery case. What is next? What do you have your sights on next?
Well, we're an organization that protects free speech for everyone and religious freedom for everyone. We're going to ensure that this decision applies in the other cases where truly artists, photographers are facing jail time, but also, again, standing for the rights of people of all faiths and no faith at all, that we can all enter the public square and protect the rights of our neighbors and ourselves to be able to engage in robust debate, just like we're doing today.
Kristen Wagner, I have like a dozen more questions for you. Unfortunately, we have to leave it there. We do appreciate your time and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you.
Of course. Jim?
Still to come, a secret investigation into the Coast Guard assault cover-ups there with more on CNN's Exclusive.
Okay. Some areas are murky to traverse in. I was aware about the Baker situation. And now we got the website situation. One side is still saying that there's going to be more discrimination left and right on it. And now I got both sides of the argument on this video. Some of the things that we're dealing with the SCOTUS rulings and how it's going to be affecting our lives for decades to come. I guess people kept forgetting about the Skokie, what was it, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America versus Skokie, the village of Skokie. And there's actually stuff on it for decades on this one. I looked at it as the First Amendment court case because you had a very discriminating, very limiting group that brought its case of ignorance and hatred and bigotry and everything else and vile stuff to the Supreme Court to argue that it had the right to spew it out. And yeah, they won the right to spew it out. But the problem is they were limited. They were limited by state and by counties on where and when they could. As long as it wasn't affecting everybody else with their vitriol. They made a movie on this one. It's out there somewhere. This is still discrimination of one way or another. They're going to be upholding the rights for everybody, but limiting. That's what they're basically saying at this point. If I am going to be a web designer and I am of a Christian nature, technically speaking, I don't have the capability, but I am Christian. And at this point, I'd seen somebody coming in who's going to be saying some vile, nasty things. What I'm trying to gather is if the government had an option to guarantee me the option or not to say no to these guys, or am I forced to write this shit, whatever they're going to be putting out. And because we are dealing with the LGBTQ, we're talking about a group. We're not talking about people going against anybody else. We're talking about a group being singled out at this point over here because a Christian web designer didn't want to put whatever message that they wanted to put out. Now, I'm going to have to research to find out what the hell that message was. I mean, if it was publicly known, then I'd like to know what the hell it was. So I know what the hell we're arguing about. But with some clever arguments, the SCOTUS said, okay, we go for the web designer because they have a right. This is going to be for other videos down the road, I'll tell you that much. We're definitely in a debate mode on this one. Right now, I got a dog. She must be obeyed. Needs to go out before she pees all over the damn floor. So if you don't mind, boys and girls, it's going to be shelved later on.